Hello, welcome to Revenant Reads. I'm Vin, and this is the Your Answer Can't Be Books tag. So this is a tag that was created over by the Book Buds, a pair of booktubers, and I was tagged by Mark Richardson over at Richardson Reads. And these are basically 6 questions just to kind of get to know people better here on BookTube. And as the title suggests, your answer can't be books. This is just to find out other aspects of people's lives. Very nice, simple questions. So let's get started. The first one is, what is something that you own way too many of other than books? I'm not a collector of too many things. I have a lot of books, certainly. I do also have quite a few, I would say, horror movie DVDs. Mostly things that I pick up along secondhand, especially at library book sales. Sometimes they have DVD sections, or I'll find at Goodwill or charity shops, that sort of thing. So I've acquired quite a few horror DVDs, and that's partly because I co-host a horror movie discussion podcast called The Horror Cast. And sometimes movies aren't always readily available for streaming, this and that, so it's nice to have a nice supply that I can dip into, at very low cost to have some movies available. That being said, there's quite a few, and then I kind of have them tucked away or hidden in baskets, so you would never know that there's a bunch of horror movies in our living room because they're just on shelves and baskets. So it's not very well organized or easy to find things. But that's something I probably have too many of. I think I'd call that collection. The other thing that I think I probably have too many of is edged weapons, and especially swords. I am a historical edged weapon enthusiast. I like especially swords, mainly European, but I like other cultures as well. And just to kind of clarify, I have a small collection, I should say, of good swords, kind of historically either accurate or appropriate reproductions. Those are not the things that I think I have too many of. That's a small collection that I do want to build up and get better. What I have also, though, are from 20 years ago, if not more, when I was a teenager or kind of during college years, as an undergrad, where I was buying things and the market for swords was not nearly as good as it is actually today. There's way more options for at pretty good prices. But also I didn't have a lot of money. So I did end up acquiring a lot of really bad swords that I still have. And I thought about, what I should do with these things. I kind of don't want to just throw them away. I almost feel it would be unethical to sell some of them, because some of them are frankly dangerous. I would not swing at a Coke bottle, some of these swords, because for fear that the sword would snap at the hilt and seriously injure the user. Like I was saying, these are more sword-like objects. These are not actual functional weapons. But I've thought about, if I'm not going to use them in that way, and I kind of weird about selling them, I might just kind of repurpose them for almost, artwork or something like that. Take some of them apart, file down the edges so they're not sharp anymore. Maybe make some outdoor stuff, I've thought about hanging them from my shed on the outside or something like that. Because I don't care if they get rusty and destroy. I'm one step away from throwing them out anyway. So anyway, I got to decide what I'm going to do with those things. But that's something that I have too many of that I know I need to figure out what to do with. Now, number 2. What is something that you do for fun that's not reading a book? Well, like I said, I do like edged weapons and swords, so I do sometimes go out and, especially, I have a friend who is also a fellow collector, an enthusiast of swords, so we get together and we slice things, water bottles and things like that, so that's fun. Sometimes we do traditional archery as well. I do like to write, though I don't do it nearly as much as I used to, but something I do want to get back into. Same thing with board games. I do like playing board games, but this summer haven't played as many as I really hoped we would. And traveling. I love traveling. Did a little bit this summer, but I can't wait for this pandemic to go away so I can really start traveling again. And I do like watching, I'm not a TV watcher, but I do like movies. The only TV I watch is like Star Trek. Right now we're doing Book Trek 2021, the 5-month mission, where we're looking at Star Trek fiction. But Star Trek is something that I like to put on when, often when I'm cooking in the kitchen or something like that. I'll put in a Star Trek episode. Or I'll watch, like, Forge and Fire, because, swords. Sometimes a soccer game. I do like watching soccer. And the main thing that I watch, though, on a screen would be horror films. And again, I do the horror podcast, but I do love horror films. I'm a big horror film buff. Number 3. What is something special or important on your nightstand that is not a book? The only thing on my nightstand is a small lamp. It looks like an antique lamp, but it's not really antique, but it's only about that big, and it's kind of, I think, shaped almost like a lily. It's something that we had gotten when my wife and I first started dating. We went up to Stockbridge, Massachusetts. We stayed at the Red Lion Inn, really nice inn, and they had like a bunch of kind of like pseudo antiques in their store. We picked that up. Stockbridge is also like where Norman Rockwell was. There's a museum right there, and the inn is on the same street as where Alice's restaurant was, that Arlo Guthrie sings about. That long song I never quite understood the appeal of. But anyway, it's a nice little area of Massachusetts. That's the only thing on my nightstand. 4. What's something that you buy at a bookstore other than books? Well, some bookstores have board and card games, so occasionally I buy something like that. If there's kind of a cool bookish gift that I might see, which is rare, but I might buy that. Sometimes a candy will tempt me. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but there is a small bookstore near me that they have these really good chocolates. They're like thick nugget-like chocolates with hazelnut in it, and sometimes I'm tempted to buy that. That's about it. Otherwise, it's really just books. 5. What's a fun gift that you've received that wasn't a book or gift card for books? Excuse me, the coughing. I wish I got more gift cards for books. People don't like getting me gift cards, even though I like receiving them. I already mentioned swords. When my wife and I were dating, she got me a Viking sword. It's probably how I knew that she was going to be my shield maiden. Other than that, sometimes get good craft beer. Especially, people will get me really good stouts. Otherwise, I don't think I received that many gifts that aren't books. People know I like books. Number 6, what's a YouTube channel that you watch that's not related to books? I do have a pretty wide taste in YouTube stuff that I watch, but there's certain channels that I think I'll mention because they're worth seeking out for people who like certain aspects of history, I would say. If somebody is interested in learning more about swords and weapons, one of my favorites is Matt Easton's channel, Scholagladiatoria. He has a terrific amount of knowledge and makes really informative videos. And he's not only a HEMA instructor, but he also is an antique weapons dealer. But I really like his channel and his content. Their historical channel that's really entertaining, but also informative is Atun Shea. He lives down in New Orleans, but he's foremost an entertainer, but he actually has really good history content. And one of my favorites is Checkmate Lincolnites, where he plays both a Confederate soldier and a Union soldier, and he basically responds to the pro-Confederate lost causers that leave comments on his videos in a really entertaining way, and it's really good. So his stuff is terrific. And another one that I just think is fun is Tasting History with Max Miller. And this is somebody who, I think he used to work for a Disney cruise line, but now he does this YouTube thing, full time. And he takes historical recipes and he cooks them in his kitchen to see how they are, and he gives a history lesson about them as well. And they're great. I made one of them that was a really simple recipe, but Anglo-Saxon oat cakes I made for my kids, and they loved them. They were really good. They're like excellent, really good, thick oatmeal cookies. But yeah, it's fun getting ideas and trying out simple recipes. That's a really good YouTube channel as well. So if you like history, those are three that, you know, I don't think enough people know about, but I'll leave links, of course, for that stuff down there. And I'll be sure to link the Anglo, well, I don't know, you might, I'll link Max Miller's channel down, but if you're interested in the oat cake, just seek that one out in there. And number 7 is just tag 5 booktubers that you want to learn more about. I think a lot of people I know got tagged in this. You know, Mark Richardson, he tagged everybody that was doing Book Trek with me and like that. So some of the others that I think it'd be nice to learn more about these people. You know, Bill Ruttenberg, super nice booktuber. You know, talks a lot of, especially nonfiction. He's also a fellow history teacher. I'd like to know his answers. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to look at my list here. Erica over at Passage of Time. She's an American expat living, I think, in England, right? Talks a lot of nonfiction. I should learn more about her. Steve talks about books and stuff. A prolific creator of BookTube videos. Excellent stuff. I want to apologize on camera. I have a hard time keeping up with your content because you put so much out, but so much good content as well. Christina over at Knitting Books, etc. She's over in Portugal. And I'm also gonna put in, I don't know if he's been tagged. If he hasn't been tagged, Mark over at Book Time with Elvis, another British expat living in the Czech Republic. Yeah, I think that he's starting up at school year again, so he's kind of busy at the moment. But love to hear his answers as well if he hasn't already been tagged. So that's 6 people. I actually tagged 6. That's what we're gonna do. That's how we do things here. All right. But anyway, those are my answers for the Your Answer Can't Be Books tag. All right. So thanks to the Book Buds for creating this, and thanks to Mark Richardson for tagging me. And that's it. All right. Thank you, BookTube.